Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk, back another video day. And today, the New York Knicks have signed Marcus Morris Sr. to an Exhibit 9 contract. And honestly, I'm going to be completely honest. Going into this video, I had no idea what an Exhibit 9 contract was. I knew what an Exhibit 10 contract was. I've known that for the last couple of years, what an Exhibit 10 contract. And I didn't even know the difference between the two. I want to say this is the first time I've heard of an Exhibit 9 contract, but basically, an Exhibit 9 contract is just a training camp invite. Now, an Exhibit 10 contract, which I've talked about so many times on my channel, is a 1-year deal, minimum, and no money guaranteed. And it's basically like a training camp invite as well. Usually when, you're seeing players getting signed to training camp, they usually get signed to Exhibit 10 contracts. Now, Morris is getting signed to an Exhibit 9 contract, though. But an Exhibit 9 contract is just a training camp invite. Not a 1-year deal. Just the training camp invite. All right, Morris was pretty good last year with Cleveland and Philly. So he was with Philly and Cleveland last year. Played 12 games in Cleveland, 15 minutes per game with Cleveland. Averaged 6 points per game. He averaged 2 rebounds per game, 1 assist per game. Shot great from 3, though, shooting 41%. And that continued into the playoffs for Cleveland. He got 9 games in 1 start with Cleveland in the playoffs, 15 minutes per game. He averaged 6 points per game, 3 rebounds per game, and was, again, great from 3, 39% from 3. In his career in the playoffs, specifically playoffs, he shot 41% from 3 in his career in the playoffs. Regular season from 3 in his career has shot 37%. And shot 40% this past season, shot 36% in the 22-23 season, 37% in the 21-22 season. 2021 season was 47% from 3. 2019-20 season was 40%. And why I went all the way to 2019-20 season has to do with these New York Knicks. He was on the New York Knicks as a starter, as a starting power forward and a starting small forward for the New York Knicks in 2019-20 season. He started at small forward for the Knicks, then got traded to the Clippers and became the starting power forward for the Clippers. But 43 games for the Knicks in the 2019-20 season, and he had 32 minutes per game and shot 44% from the floor, 41% from 3. With the Knicks, he averaged almost 20 points per game, 5 rebounds per game. Looked really good with the New York Knicks. Funny enough, I remember going to a Rockets-Knicks game in that 2019-20 season. My grandfather took me to a game, and we sat right behind the Knicks bench. And I remember seeing Marcus Morris Sr. Now, obviously, wasn't really allowed to say anything to the player, so I didn't say anything to him. But I do remember sitting right behind the Knicks bench in that season and kind of being a little bit close to him. I wasn't, directly in front of him. But he was kind of I think he was kind of a little bit to my left. So that was a very cool experience of mine going to that game in the 2019-20 season. Just thought of that, bringing up the 2019-20 season. That was a train wreck season, though. But yeah, so Morris has been on this Knicks roster when Thibodeau was married. I think that was Tom Thibodeau's first year as the Knicks head coach. Maybe his first year was the 2020-21 season. I'm pretty sure that was his first year as the Knicks head coach in the 2019-20 season. I could be wrong, though. But anyways, so Morris is back in New York. Spent a half a season with the Knicks in the 2019-20 season. But he brings great three-point shooting. He's good defensively, good rebounder as well. And he's a veteran as well. So I really like what the Knicks have done in this last couple days, bringing in some three-point shooters. Yesterday I talked about the signing of Landry Shamet. And I really like that addition for the Knicks. That's another great 3-point shooter. So these are going to be two guys who they very well early on could impress early from 3-point shooting. And they're both two guys who've been great career 3-point shooters. Also very important. Also, they were teammates, Landry Shamet and Marcus Morris. I just thought about this. I'm pretty sure they were teammates in LA with the Clippers. Yeah. Or no. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. They were teammates for the 2019-20 season. That was Landry Shamet's last year with the Clippers in the 2019-20 season. Shamet spent 2 seasons with the Clippers. It was in the 2018-19 season, the 2019-20 season, Shamet was with the Clippers, and Morris joined the Clippers in the 2019-20 season. So they got to play with each other at the end of the 2019-20 season. So they're familiar with each other. I mean, kind of. It wasn't for a long time, but it definitely is a weird season to be teammates with somebody, especially when it's, like late in the season because Morris joins LA late in the season. I think that was around February. And he joins LA. He's with the team for about a month, and then the season gets canceled. We go through this whole world pandemic. It's a whole new life for everybody. And then basketball comes back, and they're in Disneyland in Orlando, and they're doing their thing. I don't know how things were for that Clippers team, but I remember everything. It was that Clippers team was just everywhere, in the bubble, because like Lou Williams, the incident with Lou Williams, going to where. I don't want to mention where he went on YouTube. I think Montrezl Harrell had an incident. I think he had a family member that passed away, and he had to leave. Paul George was struggling. And then they blew the 3-1 lead. Then shortly after, Doc Rivers gets fired. That was a nutshell for the Clippers. But Morris Senior's back in New York. Morris Senior's, I guess, back with Landry Shamet. They were teammates for a very short time. It was a very weird time though, and it would have been shorter if the pandemic didn't happen. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see how these additions play out for the New York Knicks, because I like their team already before these signings, and we'll see if these two guys make their roster. But I think these are two guys who, if the Knicks give them the right chances in the preseason, these are guys, if you ask me, Morris and Shamet, who, if they are fighting for a roster spot, they will get good playing time in the preseason, especially since they're training camp invites, and they're veterans who've already, had a great career. So they're fighting to make the roster. So if they're fighting to make the roster and they're going to get preseason playing time, I think both of them will impress, and honestly, I'm going to make a prediction right now that both of them make the Knicks roster. I think the 3-point shooting that both of them would bring in is a great identity to this New York Knicks team. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and peace out.